Hello and welcome back to Tom and Levi's Notepod, the bite-sized show about video game stuff and basically anything we want to talk about. Today we're going to be talking about Nintendo at E3 2017. For
Yes.
anybody who doesn't know what E3 is and you live under a rock or whatever, it's basically like an expo where big games are announced. People know that. Cutting to the chase, really.
Yeah,
But
get
it
to the point,
happened,
man.
yeah, it occurred on June the 13th to the 15th, and lots of stuff was announced. So much so that we should probably hone in on Nintendo, I think, Tom.
Okay, yeah, I always enjoy when Nintendo release lots of new
So
stuff and news because
yeah, it's
I
also
love me some Nintendos.
I do love me some Nintendo too, and now that I own a Switch, it seems more apt than ever.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, do you know anything about Nintendo E3 this year, Tom?
This year, regretfully I have not been following it that deeply. I'm hoping you're going to fill me in.
Okay, well, you are in luck, Tom, because I did check out some of the stuff, and it's important to mention that we're probably not going to mention as much the press conferences rather than just the games that were announced because they
Yeah,
seem more important
that's right.
as opposed to how well it was presented. So there was a few announcements, not quite as many as people anticipated. People expect too much, I think, from E3.
Yeah,
But
it's a way overhyped.
yeah,
Always
it
is
can
every
be.
year.
But there was some stuff. I mean, firstly, we know that Super Mario Odyssey was a thing.
Oh yes,
But
of course. There was a
yeah,
new
it
trailer revealed, wasn't
yeah,
there?
it got itself a new trailer, and we know now that it's going to be released on October 27th. So it's definitely coming out this year, which is
Yay!
interesting. And it will be a Nintendo Switch exclusive, so it'll be like the first sort of typical Mario World game. Um,
I think
and it
that'll
looks,
be a Switch seller, really.
yeah, yeah,
Especially come
exactly.
Christmas time.
Exactly, and I think that's why they did it.
Hopefully.
You know, you get releases that come out October, November. You know that they're there because they want to sell for kids and get their mum and dad to buy them
That's right, yeah, that's right.
just in time for Christmas. But yeah, I'm quite excited by it. Obviously, it applies to me because I will be getting. I'll probably be getting it because I've got nothing on Switch right
No,
now.
no,
So
yeah. And
yeah,
any
it's
game announced for the Switch is good news, really.
yeah, exactly. And there's been a few. We'll talk about some other ones, but I'll focus on Mario Odyssey just right now. What do you know about it, firstly, Tom? Do you know anything?
I know that it is a 3D platformer as ever, and it will be involving Mario going to what appears to be multiple universes
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever of
He's gonna be
varying visual
yeah.
complexity and
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's a number of unrelated worlds, and they're called Kingdoms in Odyssey. And like the general plot, like whatever plot you get of a Mario game is, it's the search of missing cosmic planetoids, and like that's not even mentioning gameplay. That's just where you're gonna go.
yeah, but
Um,
that sounds pretty quite cool, really quite fun.
Yeah, they always do something a bit different. Like you don't want to. The thing is, people always want big change, but you don't. It doesn't need to be massive change as long as you've got like the formula. We know that you're going to different places in a Mario World game. It's just the way it goes.
That's right.
Like that just happens. That's the thing. But
Yeah.
from what I've heard, because obviously we've only seen gameplay, but anyone who's played it, like papers and news sites, whatever, they've said that it feels like a speedier Mario 64 than it does 3D World,
Oh,
which is
okay.
quite interesting. Like, I think they nailed like Mario 64 the first time. You could play that today, and it's really comfortable. Like
Yeah, yeah,
controlling
it's very
Mario's,
responsive. It's a nice
yeah,
game to play.
like it's just a lot easier. And if there's a speedier Mario 64, that could be even more responsive than we'd thought before.
Yeah, to me, it definitely reminds me a lot of Mario Galaxy. That kind
Yeah,
of like, damn, this is new. Oh, this looks kind of cool.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know, that's
I
my
know what you
take on it.
mean. But yeah,
It
like
looks kind of fun. I'm not too sure about the city level thing.
yeah, it
Has
looked
yet to
too
win
real,
me
didn't it?
over.
It looked way too real.
I don't know.
Do you know
It
what I
just
mean?
reminds. It kind of looks like Mario has been modded into GTA 4 to me.
It did feel that way. Like
But
there's
I will go in with an open
don't you
mind.
think it don't you think it's weird seeing like humanoid characters in a Mario game?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm
So it,
keen. I don't
and
know.
do you know anything about the hat?
Yeah, oh yeah, I really like this because Mario's hat is an icon for
Yeah,
Mario. It's a huge icon. Like Do you remember Club Nintendo, the Nintendo loyalty
Yes,
program
yeah.
thing?
Scratching off bits of like code from
Yeah,
cases.
I found like some unscratched codes the other day. Anyway, like the logo for that was Mario's hat. It was always Mario's hat was such a Nintendo thing, and now they've actually
Yeah.
made it into a gameplay element, and you kind of think like, why was it not?
Yeah, and it's almost like, and it's the way Nintendo get you. You're like, well, of course, but we didn't spot it. Nobody else thought, let's use his hat. It was Nintendo who always seem to
It's like
find a little.
he's kind of like Oddjob from
Yeah, that's what I
the
was
James
thinking. That
Bond
was actually the
games.
first thing I was thinking of. I should have thought of you secondly because I knew you'd say that.
Yes, you
But
always
like,
think of me.
yeah. So what I saw was there was a dinosaur level, and it was showing one of the Mario's new tricks, which was using his hat to kind of take control of enemies and the NPCs around,
Yeah,
and
that's
that was
kind of
kind of
neat.
interesting. Like it's something different. Like
Yeah,
I like that. I think that's a really nice feature that you can add to the game. Like, okay, we know we're gonna have a Super Mario World. That's what people are gonna buy in for. That's what they're gonna get. But how can we keep it fresh? Let's
yeah.
just
It's not just another running along
you just hear
sideways
in like
jumping
the
on
boardrooms
gilbers.
like, "Hey chief, I think we should use his hat." And they're like, "It's genius, Johnny. It's genius. We'll
It's
use his hat."
it reminds me of right. Do you remember the Simpsons episode where Snake I think he gets the electric chair, but his hair gets like put up for transplant, and Homer has Snake's hair transplanted onto him.
Oh, and turns into him.
Yeah, it turns out the hair controls him like the whole time. It was always
But
the
like,
hair that was
yeah.
bad. So I get the feeling that's the same with Mario's hat.
But it seems like there's a lot they can do with it. It doesn't seem like a gimmick. Like you can hop onto the heads of enemies, you can grab on ledges and do all that stuff, and you can there's all that stuff. But the cap gives you that platforming capability. It can create temporary platforms as well as like fighting off people, obviously, like using it as a boomerang. Like it
Yeah,
feels like a proper integral part of what the game's going to be, and I think that's really cool.
yeah. They should call it not Mario Odyssey, Mario Hat.
Mario
The
Hat.
best game coming this fall.
Tom, I don't think that will sell very well. Mario Hat. I think Super Mario Odyssey seems a little bit better.
Well, I would buy
Um,
Mario Hat.
but
Anyway,
yeah,
moving on from Mario, tell me what
yeah.
else came from
Super
Nintendo
Mario
at
Odyssey
E3.
was, of course, a big part of what they wanted to show off naturally because it's fresh in everyone's mind and they want to see it. But also, there's a mainline Pokemon game coming to the Switch. We don't know
Ah, yeah.
when. All we know is that it's a thing.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, that's
Firstly, like,
interesting.
and people were saying like, oh, it's the first game that's like on a console, but will that work? But then I always go back to the point that Nintendo Switch is also a portable console in many regards.
That's right. But
So
the
it
thing
all,
is, it's not the first Pokemon game on console. There was Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD on GameCube.
yes,
They
but
were
like I
very,
think
very different Pokemon games. I loved them. I love those
yes,
games. They're
but
great fun.
I think they mean like the general Pokemon gaming. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
like not
hope so.
yeah, not Pokken or like anything Pokemon related. Like it is the typical catching Pokemon Pocket Monsters vibe.
Yeah,
And
I hope it's not too. That's the thing with Pokemon. It's like I want something new and different, but at the same time, I just love the old shit. You
yeah,
know,
exactly. Yeah,
I'm very
and
keen to get Pokemon Gold
yeah,
remake, whatever it is.
that was another one, wasn't it? They're re-releasing it, which is quite interesting.
That's my
Like people
favorite
will buy
game.
it. People will buy it. Like you'll buy it.
Yeah,
I'll
I love
probably
it.
buy it if I come across it.
Great.
If I invested in a 3DS, that'd probably be the first thing I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the one on the Switch quickly. I think from what I heard, Game Freak, people who make the game, they said that they were waiting to see how the Switch performed and whether or not it would work
That's
with the
fair
Pokemon
enough. Yeah.
series before committing. Like a cool game to the Switch would be, you've got to make sure that the Switch is doing good. And so far, the signs point to yes. So they said, well, we're making one. I don't know when it's going to come out. I don't know what the deal is with it. They've just said it, and people have gone nuts as per normal.
Yeah. Well, it's
I think,
always the name, the possible
yeah,
name that people would go nuts over.
I think
Like,
Pokemon Go was a good starter for it.
oh yeah, Pokemon Go, like Pokemon was kind of dying a little, and then Pokemon Go
Well,
came along
dying
and
in the sense of
reinvest.
how popular Pokemon is. Like it wasn't quite as current, or
Yeah, yeah, oh god, yeah, it was still popular, but it wasn't
yeah,
in the public eye as much. And
no,
then
not
last
at all.
summer it just kind of exploded again, which was great. It was great news
Yeah.
because we all love some Pokemon.
There's also going to be Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon on 3DS as well.
Yes. I
So
don't know.
what's your thoughts on that?
I
It's
don't
kind of
really
like
know enough about it to comment, but I'm going to comment anyway.
yeah, I'm guessing it's firstly before you say anything, I'm going to guess that it's probably like black and white too. More
Yeah,
monsters, a different story, the same, just adding a few more species of Pokemon just in case we needed more.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's going to add any more Pokemon. It's like kind of changed the main two legendary Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
it's given them like a mask or something. I don't know. And I don't know. It's something about it. I'm not really, like I say, I've not really read enough into it. But first impression from first hearing that, when I was told, I was like, huh, why don't they just make it like a DLC thing? I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's what I always think, because I think
But
anybody who already owns Sun and Moon, what would entice them to get Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon unless they're massive fans? Do you know what I mean? Like real committed Pokemon fans are going to
yeah,
get it either way, whatever it is. If it's got a Pokemon to its name, they will buy it, and that's a good niche
that's
that they
definitely
have.
true. I
They'll always
suppose
have
with
that.
going back to the DLC thing, you're kind of limited on space quite drastically
Yeah,
with a
I
3DS
mean,
cartridge.
I suppose so, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility in this gaming climate that we're in, where DLC is such an it's got such a prevalent role in gaming nowadays. As much
That's
as we
true.
like it or not, we've discussed DLC and we'll discuss it again. But it's definitely a road they could have gone down. But I suppose,
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find out more as the time comes,
yeah,
and there probably is loads of information out there that I have not read.
yeah, definitely. But that being said, I think people are going to buy Ultra Sun and Moon anyway. Why would they change it? I feel like that's going to be just one of those inevitabilities. Like people are going to buy it.
Yeah,
Probably some people might not have played Sun and Moon, and maybe it's a good place to start. I don't know. I bought White 2 first. I never played White, so it really
yeah,
depends.
that's interesting. Yeah.
But going back to the Switch, what what do you think you could expect from like a Switch Pokemon game, and what can be different enough to make it its own title? Like I always try and struggle when new games come out for Pokemon, what they can do differently. Apart from graphically, they can look good. I
Mm.
always wonder like what can be done to make like to
Well,
really
a
improve
lot of the
Pokemon.
main changes really with the games, like I think it goes unnoticed by a lot, but they change a lot to the competitive scene because there's a huge competitive like world to
It's massive.
Pokemon, and like they change move sets, they change move types, every like loads of new moves completely change the whole game really, and that
Mm,
kind of a lot of people don't tap into that of course because it's quite hardcore. So I think that well they'll definitely want to bring something to the competitive scene.
definitely.
Whether or not they will, I don't know.
Well,
But
they've got
sorry,
no problem. But like when they mention the when you mention the Switch, you've got to use the Switch somehow. Like there's connectability there. People are going to be using Switch. You can you
mm,
can use the fact that there is a world out there. I think they've tried it before with like Wi-Fi and stuff, but they can really make it land with the Switch
I
because it
do
will be
think so.
current.
Yeah,
Everybody will be on it. You can sit down with it. You can walk around with it.
I'd be
It's
curious to know if they have any interconnectivity between 3DS and like 3DS games and the Switch.
yeah. You'd feel like they'd missed a trick if they didn't. Like
Yeah,
there must be a
I'd
way
like
you
to hope
can
so.
bring them together. Like
Unless they do what they did with like Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Battle Revolution on the Wii and the Nintendo 64 respectively. The like what was it? On the Wii you could connect your DSs to the Wii and send your Pokemon to battle. They also had that in Pokemon Colosseum where you could plug your Game Boy Advance in. They've always had a game like that where it's like this stadium game to play the game.
yeah. Well, what do you think? So what do you think would be your perfect new Nintendo Switch Pokemon game? You've got to use the portability somehow. The fact that it's a home console and portable, there's got to be a way to utilize that somehow.
That no, I'd completely agree,
Because
definitely.
it's going to be on your TV probably for the first time as a main Pokemon game. Like I know you
Yeah,
can get it on like TV and stuff like that, but there's got to be a way that you can make it accessible for both using it on your TV, taking it, going on your bus journey and using it. I
That's
just
true.
wonder what they'll do. I'm really curious. There's really no information, so we're really just
Yeah, it's a good
speculating on
thing to
everything.
look forward to. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what that's going to bring, and hopefully it will do something good with it and get me back into Pokemon because I haven't played it since it came out on the DS. So
No,
maybe it will.
yeah, I hope it'll go somewhere and it'll be great, and I'll buy it, and
I'm
and
gonna
I'll
buy it
stop
either way
moaning.
because I'll be a whore to Nintendo because of the Switch. So that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah,
Um, but also, if we're going to move on what happened with Nintendo, there was also Breath of the Wild is going to receive not one but two DLCs. I don't know too much about this other than it's going to focus on the champions
there's
and
going to
how.
be two new. I think there's going to be a new main storyline in the
Yeah,
second one that's being released. Um, Sometime around Christmas. Is that right? I'm not sure.
oh, it could be. Oh, it could be Tom. We know it's a thing. That's as much as we can speculate on.
That's right. I'm gonna get it. It's not
Yeah,
too expensive, really. I don't think. I think it's not only about £12, about
yeah.
$15, I guess, around
I
that
think it'll
kind of
be.
price range.
I think with Nintendo, with their little foray into DLC gaming, I think it'll be worth the money too. They really do put a lot of. They put so much into the game that you feel like with the DLC, they're not going to steep you.
No.
It's going to be worthwhile.
Oh, it'd definitely be worthwhile, like no doubt. And I'll definitely play it because it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
Why
mean,
wouldn't you not? Is they're adding more content to an already content-packed
oh
game?
my God, yeah. I mean, if we can quickly interject, I mean, the fact that I've still got like a ton of shrines to go, like maybe 30 odd
Me too. I have
shrines.
so many more than that
And
shrines that I've not done.
don't even get me started on like the Korok seeds. There's like 900.
Oh god, I'll never get them.
I
I'll
will
never
never like
ever
it's.
get them,
I'll
but I
accept
don't.
it.
It's great to just
But
stumble across a little rock and you're like,
but
damn, I
it's
haven't
not
got
so
this one
much.
yet.
We're focusing only on the collectible aspect, like the fact that like side quests are engaging and you get to learn about the lore of the game just by doing side quests.
Yeah,
Sometimes they just pad in a game. That's what happens with like games that don't have as much heart as games like Zelda. They really take the time. So if you come across some random person on a horse, they might give you a quest or they'll have some information that they can use. That was what made Breath of the Wild so interesting to me because
wow.
I care about the world.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
me too. It'll get it'll only get better.
yeah.
They're just gonna
So
add to the game, which will be great.
yeah, and I look forward to it anyway. But yeah,
Yeah.
there was one more. There was a big surprise that people went for,
Oh, tell me.
and that is the fact that there is another Metroid Prime coming to the Nintendo Switch,
Oh,
and that looks quite interesting. It's Metroid Prime 4. All we've got was a flashy screensaver, basically, that said
okay.
Metroid Prime 4. All we know is that that's the thing. They
Well,
were,
that's very big news
they
because
were
there
not
hasn't been
giving
a
us.
main Metroid game. There was Metroid
No,
Other M on Wii, which kind of wasn't
yeah,
great. Kind of
yeah,
wasn't
that's
great,
true.
but
There was
it
a
was okay
Metroid,
received. Sorry.
yeah. Metroid Prime was like it kind of revolutionized the way you could look at first-person games as well. So I
Oh, it was a
wonder, like,
complete like visual experience, really. That the first game was kind of mind blowing in its scale and like ambience was incredible.
yeah, it really was awesome. And I honestly, there's not much we can speculate other than I can't wait to see more.
Yes,
Basically,
that's right.
like,
That's right. It'll be great to see this brilliant franchise, which has kind of been a bit dead in the water for a while.
yeah,
Like they
yeah,
brought out Metroid Federation Force, I think that's what it's called, on 3DS,
yeah.
which
They've
was eh, kind of not well received because
yeah,
people
I
want a new
think
Metroid game.
I did. Well, speaking of new Metroid content, anyway, I'll quickly mention this. We might wrap this up in a bit. But they also announced a new 3DS Metroid game during the live stream
Oh, did
when I was
they?
watching it. Yeah, Metroid Samus Returns, which
Oh,
looks like
okay.
it's a return of the classic 2D routes. I think it's like either a reimagining or a complete remake of Metroid 2.
Okay,
And
that'd be
it,
cool.
so I was watching some girl, I guess, who was a developer playing it, and it looked really good. It looked like classic Metroid, but a little bit shinier, like kind of 2.5D. But that looks
Nice.
cool. And so I guess to tide you over, they're like, hey, there's a Metroid Prime. Also, sorry that we've got nothing, but here's a game.
That's good. I'm glad they're bringing Metroid back in full force and actually,
Yeah,
getting it back in the public eye, because a lot of people don't know
definitely.
about Metroid anymore. They don't care
No,
for it.
it
Everyone
passed me
expects a
by.
new Mario game. They don't expect the other great IPs that
Yeah,
you
you
have from
forget. Yeah, people
Nintendo.
forget that there are so many other aspects to Nintendo that kind of fall by the wayside just a little bit, and it's good to see that there was a bit because people loved it. Like the response from Metroid Prime 4 had people kind of a gasp, which was great.
That
Kind
is
of
good
classic,
news.
like those classic E3 moments because you didn't get them as much. It's been too commercialized, I think. But people were genuinely like, "Oh my God, awesome!"
Cool.
So I'm curious to see what that would do. But there's also one little thing that popped up that I saw, Tom, that we both like,
What's
that
that?
we've played. Rocket League is coming to the Switch, and it's coming soon, like very
Oh,
soon.
cool. Good.
So
Good. I'm
we
glad
can have
that's.
some fun. We can pull out our little Joy Cons and play Rocket League there too.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
will be
perfect
fun.
for that. That'd be.
So
I'm glad they're bringing that there
I'll
because
be
that's a
curious to
good game.
see. Yeah, I'd like to see the possibilities with that. But like those are some of the games that I think were worth mentioning, Tom. And
Yeah,
I thought
thank you for updating me a little bit. We had a little chat
it's
on the
okay.
Notepod.
That's what the Nerdbud's all about, really, isn't it? Just
Just
having a
little
little chat.
chats.
Just a little chat.
Yeah, it's
So
good.
we're gonna look at some of the other E3s, and you'll be out of your element. It'll be fun to talk to you about it.
You just talk at me. Or
Yeah.
talk with me.
So watch me talking at Tom for another 20 minutes. Yeah, thanks for joining me, Thomas.
Thank you for joining me, Levi.
And
We had a good old chat.
and if you want to join us anymore, you're gonna have to catch us on the next Nerdpod. Until then, it's goodbye from me, Tom.
Goodbye from me, Tom.
And goodbye from me, Tom.
Good. That's very good.